Hello everyone, welcome. My name is vAaron and today I want to talk to you about kind of a controversial topic. So I was talking to someone about this, I believe in the comments section, or it might be in zone chat. I do believe it was comments section though, and we were basically talking about DPS, and the topic was, should easier to play DPS characters like the rogue have the lowest output in terms of damage? What I mean by this is, should a factor of skill be involved in how much DPS a person does? For example, the rogue has probably the easiest playability. I don't see many people struggling in terms of putting out DPS with the rogue. And then you've got the DC, which are substantially harder to play for many different reasons. The divinity, for one, you've got to control that, and it's part of the reason I don't play my DC. They are just too difficult. However, if someone has mastered one of the hardest classes, like a DC or like a Hunter Ranger, should they have the highest DPS output because they are arguably the hardest classes to play? Now, what this would mean is the rogue would be the lowest output DPS because, in my opinion, the rogue is one of the easiest, if not the easiest, classes to put out DPS on. Now, I told you it'd be controversial because a lot of rogues are going to be like, no, that's not how it works. I'm a rogue, I feel the pain, but you guys know I like to do these controversial topics anyway. So, if I play my rogue and I'm literally pressing three buttons, there's kind of a rotation, but it doesn't make that much of a difference. For example, as long as on AoE you pop your stealth, you can pop Blade Flurry twice, and that's about it. And also, when you're on a single target, you pop your stealth wiki reminder first, so you can apply that crit avoidance to the enemy. And that is basically how far the rotations go for a rogue. However, when it comes to different classes, they have to think about so much. I have the hardest time just avoiding red. So imagine me playing a DC where I've got to think about every single button that I'm pressing, and then what happens when there's red on the floor? I can't focus on everything. So if you've mastered the DC, for example, I'm just using the DC as an example, but if you've mastered the DC, do you feel you should be putting out the most DPS? Whether it's AoE, whether it's single target, it doesn't matter. I feel like the rogue right now in its current state should be the baseline for all DPS. All DPS should have a strong AoE ability. For example, the barbarian doesn't really have a strong AoE ability. It's got not so fast, and it's got mighty leap. However, with mighty leap, as long as you've got the feet on, the class feet or the feet or whatever it's called, I can't remember what it's called, but you have to miss the first mighty leap. Now, in between you missing that first mighty leap, in order to proc another mighty leap, which will do more damage, a rogue has already gone in and hit Blade Flurry twice. And I do believe that is what a lot of classes are missing. I believe the warlocks are really good in AoE as well. However, the baseline, I feel, should be the rogue. Do I think that classes output in DPS should be determined by skill? To a point, yes. I honestly do. Even though I do play a rogue and I pretty much have an easy time of it, there's not really much to think about. I do feel like if I'm playing a class that requires more skill, more knowledge, better placement, better timing, I believe that should be rewarded with extra DPS. For example, the Hunter Ranger. I don't really know many Hunter Rangers. I know a few, but they're super hard to play. Was it? I think the rotation is like you have to pop a power, you have to switch stance, pop another power in that stance, switch stance again, and you've got to switch stance between every power. That would get super frustrating. The Barbarian, in terms of AoE, is just nowhere really. I believe they could do better with the Barbarian and giving the Barbarian more DPS. However, the Barbarian has some really awesome single target. And it's as long as you've got everything that you need. I don't see the barbarian as being hard to play. It can be hard to keep up with other barbarians which have maybe absolutely mastered their build, and we've got an invite to join a group. Decline that. But yeah, the barbarians, you hit your frenzy, you hit your bloodletter, you hit your IBS. Not all in that order. You go into rage. Once you're in rage, as long as you've got the relentless slash proc, you just go brash strike on every single boss, and that's basically what you do. When your rage runs out, you pop your IBS, then your bloodletter. Hopefully your rage is filled back up as much as it can be. You pop your rage again, relentless slash if you need to, and then frenzy it while you're in rage. By the way, shout out to Bricks. He was the one who taught me that rotation, and he puts out some incredible DPS for a barbarian. Now, I don't know much about the bard. However, they do plan on buffing the bard in terms of magnitude. They are giving the DPS a lot more magnitude. Wizard, again, they are buffing that as well. So I feel like they are trying to bring the classes into line, but no mention of the barbarian, which is a shame. However, the topic of the video, as we've discussed, should DPS be determined on the level of skill you need to essentially put out DPS on a certain class. I honestly think it should. I think skill should play a factor in it. I understand that a lot of people are going to lose a lot of fun. A lot of people might play the rogue because it's fun. I play the rogue because it's fun. It is fun. It's easy. You don't have anything to think about, and you can top the damage boards if you care about that. Me, I care more about completions rather than damage. As long as I'm holding my own, I am happy. However, I do think a DC, a HR, there's probably classes I've missed that I can't even think of, but I do think them harder to play classes should definitely have a higher potential damage output, and I don't think that's how it is right now. DCs are really good single target from what I believe. Warlocks are really good at AoE, not really sure on a single target. Wizards, I think it's I don't know what path on the wizard it is, but one of them is really, really good. It's single target. So it is what it is right now. Do I think they'll change it? No, because they'll take a big part of the fun out of the game. However, my opinion is I do think a level of skill should be involved when it comes to putting out DPS on different characters. But yeah, let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. I understand this is a controversial topic. If you are a rogue, I'm a rogue too. Don't get annoyed. It's not going to happen. It's just something that I wanted to talk about. You guys know I like doing these controversial topics, and I like hearing what you guys have to say. Leave a like on the video if you enjoyed. Subscribe if you are new. You want to make your way back to the channel. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one.